Audible lets you enjoy all your audio entertainment in one app. You'll always find the best of what you love or something new to discover.
That sure is true. Audible offers an incredible selection of audiobooks across every genre. Bestsellers, new releases, celebrity memoirs like the Britney Spears book that just came out, mysteries and thrillers, motivation, wellness, business, and so much more.
I personally just listened to Heather Gay's Bad Mormon, kind of for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City research, but also just for fun to listen to it because it was a good book. And it's great. I mean, it's her actually reading it. And it is so nice to run around and do my errands and be able to listen to a book. Because let's face it, I will crash my car if I try to read it physically.
It's a great use of Audible. So try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/crappins or text crappins to 500-500. That's audible.com/crappins or text crappins to 500-500.
For whatever you're into, Amazon Prime offers a range of services like Prime Video, Amazon Prime Music, and Prime Fast Free Shipping. I've been using Prime Video to watch some of my favorite rock and roll documentaries. And of course, I use Prime for shopping for all kinds of things. I've got a pretty gnarly sneaker habit, so Prime comes in handy there. This is just one example of many ways that Prime can make life a little richer, from shopping to streaming to saving. It's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime. Get more out of whatever you are into.
And here's your prescription.
I know just the pharmacy to get this filled.
Who are you?
A pharmacy benefit manager. A middleman your insurer uses to decide which medicines you can get, what you pay, and sometimes even which pharmacy you should go to.
Why can't I go to a pharmacy in my neighborhood?
Because I make more money when you go to a pharmacy I own.
No one should stand between you and your medicine. Visit phrma.org/middleman to learn more. Paid for by Pharma.
Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens? Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens?
Okay, everybody, welcome back. This is part 2 of a 2-part recap. If you missed part 1, go listen to it. Okay, carry on. We've just finished the dinner portion of Dinner Party from Hell for the season, and everyone is at that overly lit bar in Kyle's house with the checkerboard floors and the pink kind of coming in from the other room.
Art Deco-y kind of thing. You can just barely see Mauricio's agency basketball propped up on its pedestal by a fireplace. So, basically dinner is over and things like, it was tense there for a moment, but you know what? Thankfully, everything seems fine and nothing could possibly go wrong. So Garcelle has just asked if everyone's high. Everyone's high. So Dorit goes up to Denise and she's like very sort of quietly, she goes, Denise, is this on backwards? Because Denise is wearing this big sort of like Monsters Incorporated pink fluffy thing and it's not quite on right. So Dorit's just trying to give her like a solid like, hey, you may have put this on backwards.
And then he says, no. Are you sure? Is it upside down? She's like, no. And then we see 2 hours earlier and Denise's jacket thing is put on properly. So obviously it is put on wrong. I died laughing. So then Dorit's like, but I think it's upside down. She goes, is yours upside down? What's up with what you're wearing? What are you wearing? Is it upside down for you?
She goes, mine? She goes, don't do this. Don't do this. I know what it is. I know what it is. Stop it.
I know what you're doing. Stop it.
She's like,
stop it right now.
I swear, your entire jacket is upside down.
Stop. No, I know what you're doing.
I understand what's right side up or upside down. I've done a lot of work on roller skates for PK's Pantone in England, okay? I've fallen on my bum quite a bit and I've seen a lot of things from upside down, so I'm pretty sure yours is upside down right now.
You stop it. I know what you're doing. It's about your jacket. I don't give a flying ass fuck about a jacket.
She goes, okay, take it down. Both your voice and also maybe the back of your jacket that's upside down.
Don't do this. Do not do this. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't.
Denise has literally put her arms in the wrong sleeve, so the back of her jacket is now rising up here, and there's nothing going down behind her back. It's amazing.
So Dorit's telling us maybe Denise is on something, and in 2 years we'll all be wearing upside down tickets. It's fishing. It'll be the hottest trend, but right now it's a hard no for me. Woo!
Woo! You never know, although Celine did try to do backwards tuxedo as a thing, and that never quite caught on. So then Kyle...
It did. Everybody they make it on Project Runway every year, Celine's jacket, backwards
that's true.
jacket.
You're right. That's right. How could I forget? So Kyle is like, Denise, is everything okay? She's like, I'm going to head out. It's almost 11 o'clock. And Dorit's like, bye. So there's like chit-chat, and Kyle's leading Denise to her car, and Kyle's like, does it seem better now after you said that to Erica? Do you feel better now? Is it better? Do you want to fight? Do you want to go back inside and fight some more? Because you can fight if you want.
Don't do this.
Denise is still salty. She's like, she's a fucking asshole. I never did anything to her. So basically she gets into her car and heads off.
And she's like, she knows. She's like, okay, well, we'll see you later. She knows what she did. She knows what she's doing. She knows. Like, okay, Denise, have a good night. All right, ma'am, where are you going? She knows.
Ma'am, I think you might be wearing your jacket as leg warmers right now. Do you want to rethink that? Don't do this, driver. Don't do this.
Don't do this. Okay, so she leaves, and she's like, she's a fucking ass. One never did anything to her. It's like holding her head out the window. She knows.
Ma'am, do you
Kyle's
want
long driveway?
She's just at the McDonald's drive-thru. She knows. Ma'am, do you want to supersize that? Don't do that right now.
Don't do it right now.
Don't do that.
So back to the women gathered in Kyle's bar area. So Anne-Marie's like, so Sutton, are you night owl, Sutton? Like, what are you, like a night owl? She goes, I wake up at 6. She goes, oh, really? I wake up at 4:30. So my husband literally sleeps for 4 hours a night, so I get up. And she's like, oh, you know what? Martha Stewart said 4 hours. She also went to prison.
So Dorit then goes up to Kyle.
I don't really get that. Do you? What'd that mean?
Meaning, like, take that advice with a grain of salt, because that salt could lead you to prison. Bitch.
Okay, just making sure. I was like, what? What's the Sutton? There's another Christmas party Sutton's not going to get invited to this year.
Yeah. So Dorit goes up to Kyle, and she's just sort of checking in to be like, how are you feeling? That was like really intense what Sutton did. You want to fight with her again? Because I'm going to make you mad right now.
Yeah. And she's like, when you came back to the table, when they came back, I said, where's Kyle? And she goes, she's probably in denial somewhere. And Kyle goes, oh. She does this huge gasp. She's like so excited she can finally keep this going on because
Yes.
like she tried so hard and it didn't work to have like a big dramatic moment. So she just turns right around and she goes, Sutton, what am I in denial about, Sutton? What is it, Sutton?
I don't know, Kyle. I don't know. Sutton has that like soft voice she does when she's confronting someone. I don't know. Kyle goes, if you know something, like, please tell me. What would I know, Kyle? What would I know?
That's what I'm asking you. Oh my God, you guys just had this fight, Kyle. Jesus Christ. So Sutton's like, I don't know anything. What? She goes, well, if you think I'm in denial, then like that's implying that you know something. So just tell me what you know. And Erica goes, insanity.
By the way, wasn't it Kyle who was also recently accusing Sutton of being in denial about her drinking, etc.? So Sutton's like, well, it seems to me that you're in denial. It seems to me that you are. And she's, well, you either said something or you didn't. And Sutton goes, yes, I said it. And it seems like you're in denial about something. So gotcha, because I did say it.
And she's like, quit trying to gaslight me. Quit trying. Because you went in there and said, she's not trying to gaslight you. She just told you. She said you were in denial. So That's like, what do you want? And Sutton's like, I said it while I was sitting at the table. She goes, wherever you said it. I mean, I don't care. I don't care if you were standing on your fucking head. Oh, that's upside down. Had Denise been doing that outfit would have made sense. Ooh.
That was part of the original choreography for Peter Pan Live, standing on your head. I unfortunately couldn't do it, so they just hit me in the face with a cream pie. So Sutton goes, well, we all know I can't stand on my head, Kyle, so let's not be rude.
And then Erica and Crystal are like, So Kyle's like, if you have something that you know about, then please just say that there's such. I don't have anything I know about Kyle. But what am I in denial of? Why can't she just say it's all over the rags? Okay, just say it. It's Sutton's making me fucking crazy. My God. So Sutton's like, well, that's the question. And I asked her about her household. I asked her about her husband and her marriage. And Kyle goes, quit asking about my household. Look, what's wrong with my house? Oh, and by the way, which fucking house? What are you talking about?
So I'm not, of course, Kyle. That is such a Kyle retort. She's like, let me have an addendum to my comeback, which is to also have a humble brag about my multiple houses.
Yes, so I'm rich. I'm also very rich. So,
but I did like that because Kyle's all ready to defend her situation with Morgan and Mauricio, but she was not prepared to have her house slandered. So she was like, what do you mean? What's wrong with my house? Wait, I did not prepare for this sort of argument.
And the way that Sutton explains it, I mean, is true. But I mean, obviously, Sutton's not innocent. We all know what she's implying, and she's correct because it's Kyle's entire storyline. But she's like, Kyle is in denial. Wow, wait a minute, that could work. Hold on, Kyle's in denial. Oh, I'm a showman, Sutton. I'm a showman. So she's like, Kyle's in denial about something going on with her marriage, and personally, I think Kyle is unhappy. People's marriages ebb and flow, and maybe there's no flow right now, and that's something she don't want to talk about, because Kyle doesn't want to talk about personal things. She's done. She's done. So
Kyle is now talking to Anne-Marie in the kitchen with Erica, and Kyle's like, this is what she does. Okay, it doesn't even make sense. Anne-Marie's like, it makes no sense whatsoever. No sense.
And yeah, like, you don't know all these rumors, Anne-Marie. Give me a fucking break. She's such a kiss ass. I really don't like. I like when that you bring on a friend of, and they kind of have your back, but she's too much. She's ridiculous. And is it because I know about all the social media stuff? Maybe a little bit.
Probably.
But I think it's also just coming on and being completely blindly pro Kyle.
Yeah, that's rough. So Kyle, especially because Kyle doesn't need more allies. That's what's frustrating. So Kyle's like, I get so frustrated. I mean, like, that's why I lose my shit. And Erica's like, it's not fair to you. And Kyle's like, hey, what is with the household? Look at my beautiful household with pink neon lighting and checkerboard floors and basketballs and pedestals and stacks of mail. What is wrong with my household?
So then Sutton enters, hearing all this, and she's like, okay, will you just listen to me, Kyle? Okay, for 2 seconds. I trust what you told me. There's nothing going on, and there's nothing to be worried about. I trust it, okay? That's all I needed. She's like, well, I didn't say there's nothing going on. I mean, I told you at the retreat that things haven't been amazing, which makes it even worse that you would say that shit, and that's weird. That is weird.
I mean, if I was really going through a hard time, this would certainly not be the way I would approach a friend. And Anne-Marie's like, agreed. Thanks, Anne-Marie. Thanks for weighing in.
So Carousel's like, well, do you think there's something going on with her? She goes, I told her. I said, I don't know if this is your first drink or your fifth, or if it's medicine you're on for your foot.
So how is this any better than what Sutton's doing? To me, they are both equal levels of like character assassination, basically, or not character assassination.
They're both as low as each other.
They're both low.
I just think Sutton's funnier and Kyle's annoying, so I'm Team Sutton.
Well, I take gabapentin at night when I go to bed, and like, you're going to tell everybody I don't eat. That's what you're going to do. And
you don't. Well, you don't eat. Well, you don't.
Yes,
really? Do you? We haven't seen you eating either, ma'am. I've seen Kyle do a lot of stuff pushing around. Anyway, isn't that the goal? I mean, this is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
But also, where was this energy reserved for Lisa Rinna? Like, just to say, like, because bring that up only because Lisa Rinna was the subject of a lot of speculation about that, but Kyle didn't say anything there.
Yeah, but you know who was speculating about it? So to bring the karma discussion all the way around, it was Sutton who was speculating on that, wasn't it?
Probably. Sutton's a speculator. That's what she does. But the point is that Kyle, the Fox Force 5 is no longer the 5, but Kyle and Dorit and Erica have a really convenient way of, shining the spotlight, shining the microscope, shining the spotlight on other people for things. But when the same thing is happening in their camp, they turn a blind eye.
Yes, I'm Googling who accused Lisa Rinna of having an eating disorder.
The entire internet did.
Yeah, I know, but I thought it was like
line. But like, the point is again that Kyle would never say this to Lisa Rinna.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. Now I'm like, oh my God, who said it? Because I remember that it was someone brought it up. I thought it was Sutton, but I don't know. It seems like so long ago. Okay. Anyway, so Kyle's like, well, you don't eat. And she's like, I've seen you push your food around on a plate and say that you have some disorder where you're going to like choke and can't eat your food or whatever, which again is so Kyle. And Sutton's like, well, now you're going to make fun of really something that's wrong with me. And she tells us my esophagus disorder is not something to be made fun of. I can't eat certain foods. I've been down for 4 days, not able to swallow my own saliva. Thankfully, I can swallow Belvedere. Thankfully. Only if there's Ocean Breeze grapefruit in it, but still.
And here's my friend making fun of me. What's going on in your life, Kyle? You're not drinking. Why? What is the problem? Did you drink too much?
Says, was it a problem?
Oh, was it a problem? Did you drink too much? I don't call you out on that shit. Why are you calling me out on that?
Yes, and I like that because she's saying you're drunk all the time, and now you're going to start calling people drunk. That's rich, Kyle. Which is the old argument of you've been sober for 5 fucking minutes. So Sutton's like, I'm sick of fighting with you, Kyle. Like, listen, I really am. She goes, me too, Sutton. She goes, well, you've already lost 2 sisters. Do you want to lose a third? So you're really sick of fighting, huh?
So what's always so funny with Sutton is that she doesn't want to just come out and say it because she doesn't want to be rude. But then eventually she gets pushed to a brink where she says something that's 10 times ruder than if she had just confronted Kyle in the initial issue. So she says this thing, which is such a bomb to drop. I mean, on Kyle Richards, it is such a bomb. I cracked up. I was laughing.
Me too. And Erica's like, wow, don't do that. Sounds like you are being mean. And Kyle's like, you know why? Because you know the truth. You've had your own situations with her, and like you don't want to speak up. You don't want to speak up about Kathy. And she goes, oh, I'll tell everybody what Kathy did. Oh, really? Because you can kiss her ass in public, but then you want to play that game with me? And she's like, I'm not kissing. Oh, this is about Kathy then. Is that what we're saying? And she's like, you just made it about Kathy. Well, first off, Kyle was insinuating that earlier in the season that Sutton is kissing Kathy's ass because she wants to keep going to her Christmas party. And then they showed this Christmas party. But then someone on Reddit was like, no, that was Sutton's Christmas party that Kathy was at. This picture, which I just thought was funny.
Right. By the way, Kyle is the queen of kissing important people's asses in public. Okay, so again, it's more projection from her. So Sutton's like, I'll tell everybody what happened. Okay, Kathy did not like that I did not stick up for her in the press, so she called me and she yelled at me, and I told Kyle, I see what you've experienced. I felt it firsthand, but I was not dumb enough to kick it out of my life. Okay, I'm getting that baked potato with the caviar on it.
And Kyle's like, oh, yeah, but you were real quiet that day when we were all together last time, weren't you? And then she storms off, and we get a reunion flashback of Kyle like crying the whole time. And Kathy being like, Kyle, I don't want to talk about it, Kyle. Kyle, I don't want to talk about it. Kyle, stop, Kyle. I don't want to talk about it. But as if Kyle wasn't completely trying to use her weapons, Lisa Rinna and Erica, against Kathy that whole season too.
Exactly. And Kyle, I had an interesting thought here about Kyle. I don't remember what it was, so I'll just move on. But let's just say it was something about Kyle, hypocrisy, Kathy, baked potatoes.
So something we haven't said yet. So
yeah, it was something, a few weeks ago, actually, I think it was in the episode that we didn't recap because over Thanksgiving, Kyle was insisting to Sutton that Kyle's persnickety-ness with Sutton had nothing to do with Sutton's relationship with Kathy. But actually, I think we see here that it actually has a huge amount to do with that. And she feels probably very betrayed by Sutton, but probably jealous. I'm going to actually say she feels jealous of Sutton. And so that's why she is happy to, publicly accuse Sutton of having a drinking problem and an eating disorder.
Oh my gosh, this show. This is exhausting, really. And I'm like, why are they still talking about this? You know why? Because we've made a 40-minute show. We're still talking about it. Like, it didn't really last as long on the show, but I'm like, what? How is this scene still going on? Because that's what we do. It's really fun. It's fun for us.
So Erica's
this is how we have fun.
Yeah, Erica's like, some people in this group fear Kathy because she holds the access to something that they want. And she can lock you out of Beverly Hills or lock you out of parties or lock you out of social standing. But I don't care about that. I've always been the rogue. I've always been the lone wolf on the outside. I don't really care if I don't get invited to any of your Christmas parties. I'll just find another old man to sleep with and have my own Christmas party, okay? I don't care if I'm not honest.
It's like, we all know that Sutton likes a good old socialization situation. That's just the way it is.
And there's awkwardness. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I'm not sure that's the right use of socialization, but go on.
Socialization situation. She loves to be socialized.
So like, okay. Okay, but they're out of the crate slowly. Out of the crate slowly.
Well, she always said if she's going to be around humans, she wants to learn things from very rich humans.
So we're in the kitchen still, and everyone's just staring at Sutton awkwardly. And she's like tapping the counter. And Sutton goes,
she taps the counter.
Well,
goes like this. She tapped the counter and does like a arm swing like, well, there we go. That's the scene, folks.
Because Kyle stormed out and she's just sitting in the office like upset. And she's like, okay, well, I think we can go now. Okay, guess we can go. So everybody starts leaving and Erica goes to Kyle in the office and she's like,
I'm sorry. I'm your friend. I'm sorry. Anything I can do. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with your marriage, Kyle.
Which is silly. Kyle literally said there was. And Kyle goes, but I said it's not great right now. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys.
Oh, I forgot. This is called empathy, right? So, basically.
Hey, how big are your shoes? Can I put them on? Can I put on your shoes right now? I'm supposed to do that. So Sutton's talking to Cynthia outside. She's like, well, that was a buzzkill. And Cynthia's like, well, it was going good. And then it was going bad. And then it was kind of going good. And then it got bad again. Okay, enough about your time on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. We have to focus on this show.
So they leave, and then Kyle goes to thank the ladies working at her house, and the lady's like, we love you so much. And she's like, aw. She's like, it hurts me to see you sad. And so Kyle's like, love you guys. Love you guys.
Kyle walks out of the room, they're like, cheater, bitch, puta.
Ozempic lesbian.
Early waker, upper to jogger.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
So now we go to Dorit's house, where Phoenix and Jagger are sitting at the table, and Phoenix is holding a severed hand. But it turns out it's an Addams family set, whatever the hand is in the Addams family.
I think it's called The Hand, right?
The Hand.
What do they call that? I love that show, by the way. It was such a great show. No, it's not called The Hand. That's not true. Let's look at it.
I'll look it up, because otherwise I refuse to have a week of people messaging us about the fucking hand on Addams Family.
And the Addams Family, The Thing. It was Thing. Not The Thing, just Thing. Yeah. I love that. I didn't remember the hand's name, but God, did I love that show. Okay, so, we're at Dorit's hand, and Phoenix even has the bow in her head, and Dorit's like, oh, that's literally her best friend / bit. Are you doing your best Wednesday right now? Are you? Do it. And Phoenix just slowly eats the chips and stares at her. That's the David Beador. That's the David Beador with a bow on, man.
with a touch of PK. And it's like, okay, slowly. Okay, don't be like your father. Slowly, my love, slowly. And where should your napkin go? And then she puts the napkin on her head. And then their teacher, Mrs. Lepp, is there. She goes, well, everyone's a comedian. Everyone's a comedian.
Everyone is a comedian.
Oh, this just in. The role of Wendy in Peter Pan Live is being played by Mrs. Lepp. Well, congratulations.
I just can't bear to do it. I'm sorry to announce Dorit Kemsley will not be in attendance tonight, playing the role of pie-in-the-face lady in a show starring Boy George, who Dorit Kemsley knows. Mrs. Lepp.
I thought I was here to teach Jagger about multiplication.
Gotcha.
What's 2 pies times 4 pies?
Rehearsal.
Everyone's a comedian. So
Erica is having lemons with Laya, who really has not been featured enough because she's amazing in this scene. So they have these humongous lemons because, you know, when you have like a fruit tree and you see how fruit actually grows in the wild, it's insane. These are like as big as a baby head. As big as a baby. I just saw a baby today. It's as big as a baby. It's huge. So Erica's like,
Oh, look, fancy. It's like we're at Whole Foods or something with a fresh lemon. Am I right? Showman.
you want to make some lemonade? Because, you know, when life gives you lemon, you should find something useful to do with it. And so how do you make lemonade? Laya's like, lemons and the S word. You mean sugar? Oh my God, I can't believe you could actually say that.
I don't know. Look on the internet, lie.
she goes, I mean, are we going to have to go outside and sell it? And Erica's like,
Oh, you know what? I don't know how to take that.
she was calling you poor, Erica, and it just made Leia my fucking favorite side character on this show. Congrats, you just moved up.
I would love an Erica Jane lemonade stand. That would be my favorite version of her. That would redeem literally years of my issues with Erica. You know, like, how many lemonades do I give? 0, 0, 0, 5 cents a piece.
Pucker that puss. Pucker that puss. Pucker that puss.
She's just like grinding on the ground over a lemon.
Yeah.
It's expensive to squeeze lemons.
Okay, so then we go to Kyle leaving her house to jog and then coming back to jog and from jogging.
You know what?
So
I have a question. You're a dog person.
yes.
Okay, I have a question. This is coming from someone who does not own dogs. I'm really sick of this many years in that Kyle still has to tell her dogs when, like, Kyle cannot just like walk out her door normally. She always has to be like, stay. Is this like normal? Is this like what happens with dogs? Like that you could just never, like you could never walk out your door easily. I feel like other.
Do you want a real
people's
answer?
Yes.
Here's the real answer. It's like children. Sorry to call everybody's dogs children, but you know it's true.
Or everyone's
If you have one, your dog will listen to you. Like Bueller's very, very good. He listens to me. He was trained really quickly. I mean, he has some things he doesn't love. Like he still barks too much and like he's got his faults, okay? But for the most part, he doesn't run outside. He listens to me. Now, if there's another dog around, he goes crazy and he doesn't give a fuck what I'm saying because he has a dog on his side, you know? And it's like kids. You know how there's single children and they're so well behaved in a restaurant and they're just sitting there like doing taxes on their iPad or whatever. Yeah. But if there's a table with 2 or more children, it's like a fucking circus over there. And dogs are the same way. And Kyle just keeps trying to collect like reasons for people to give her attention. You know how people just get dogs sometimes because other people are like, oh my God, your dog's so cute or whatever.
Yeah.
I think Kyle does that. And she's a dog collector. And so they're monsters. They're not going to listen to anybody. So I don't even know if I could blame Kyle for this. Multiples are very difficult.
No, that's what I wanted to know. Is this a Kyle blameworthy moment? Because it makes me uncomfortable when there's even 3 milliseconds of time on the show where I can't blame Kyle for something. But that being said, though, her dogs have been always wild and untrained. Like she has some of the worst, like the cute. Her dogs are so cute. I love a German Shepherd, but they're also fully untrained. Like what was that? What's her dog's name? Is it like Butter or Jellyfish or something like that? Who just was like climbing Buttercup. Remember the one that was like
pay attention to her dogs.
Her dogs are just out of control, and it makes me mad that you're that wealthy, but you can't train your dogs.
Yeah, you know, it's rough. Dogs don't care how much money you have. They only care. Yeah,
They're
they don't
animals.
care.
They're little animals.
Yeah. And now you can train multiple dogs well, but yeah, she doesn't do it. So we go to Anne Marie's house and Kyle comes over and it's another one of these farmhouse things. And I live in one of those and I'm sick of it. Is anybody else just sick of it? I'm over it.
I actually really like them, and I'm not over them. I really enjoy the modern farmhouse.
I'm tired of it.
I have
think it's
modern
over.
farmhouse envy. So
I have one and I love it. I do love it. But I've been looking at places to be closer in Austin. Like, I'm just so far away. And they're tearing down all the little houses and they're building up these farmhouses and they're all exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I think we all live, like probably 80% of us live in one of these now. And I'm one of them. And I think it's time to change. I'm officially saying it right now. Farmhouse is over. Okay, Chip and Joanna? So go suck a dick, both of you.
Thank you for saying it. Actually, I think I would love to live in a ranch house someday. I think I would really, really like a ranch.
A real one I would love. But the modern farmhouse look where it's just every cabinet is blue, every floor is white oak, every countertop is that fake marble quartz or whatever. Well, it's my house. I'm dissing my own house, okay? But it's over. It's time to
You
go.
know what I really like? I like wood paneling, like the proper wood paneling from the 70s that everyone turns their nose up at. They're disgusted by it. I literally find it so cozy and cute. And I guess it's a nostalgia
You're
thing.
good. You're on trend. No, you're on trend. That's back. And that is Austin proper. That is the style of house. They keep that style of the old houses. Like a lot of them remodel into this farmhouse thing, but the other ones are that. It's like wood
Like that.
paneling.
It's cozy. It's like the 80s, but without being tacky like the 80s. And I was like that before. See, I didn't even know that this was a trend. I thought I was being off trend. I like that. I think that's adorable for like a family room. And I would like to have a ranch home that has a wood paneled like TV den area or something like that. Or maybe that could be a game room for me for my board games,
Let's do it. I'm behind you.
Rabbit's
honey.
Ranch.
Let's do it.
Okay. We'll have different
Yeah.
wings and we'll come together in the center to podcast.
Yeah, I would love that. I'm in.
Yeah. And then Don
okay,
would
so
play
Anne
with
Marie's house,
Bueller while-
hate it.
Yeah.
Don would what?
Play with Bueller while we were recording.
Bueller's finally like trained to do a jeté, like a proper jeté.
Bueller's tapping. Yeah, Anne-Marie's house. Ronnie hates it. I didn't even really notice her house because we spent a lot of the time outdoor. I remember tall ceilings. I remember a tall entryway, but then they go outside.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. All we know about Anne Marie is that she's doing nothing but sticking her head up Kyle's ass. Don't like that. We know that she's got a farmhouse. Ben loves it. I don't love it. And we know that she's got some questionable social stuff. Don't love that, obviously. And here's what we know that is the final nail in her will I like her coffin. She has a pickleball court.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done here. Goodbye. You're fired.
If I saw this show in a vacuum, I'd be like, someone get me out of this Dyson. But I would also be like, I don't think I would hate her, to be honest. If I did not know about the stuff that I'd read about, even her kissing Kyle's ass, what I have liked about her is that her personality seems very gregarious, and so I don't hate her as much as I thought I would hate her. I actually don't. I would not even say I hate her. I would just say I dislike.
No, I don't hate her.
I would dislike. I dislike that. I dislike how she was so blindly stood up for Kyle. And of course the comments, her transphobic comments are terrible, but I've also heard that she gets worse. So who knows? But anyway, pickleball is a big strike against her. So Kyle's Kyle, they're going to play, and Kyle's like, I don't even know the rules. And so they just start hitting around. So we have another montage of terrible tennis / pickleball on Bravo. It's a tradition that goes all the way back to 2007. It wears me out.
Yeah. And so then we learn about her. She's very competitive, and everything I do, it kind of innately becomes a competition. Because I got into sports when I was 5, and then I was sports, and then sports, and then it was sports. So it's no coincidence that I ended up with an NFL football player. So then we see a shot of Marcellus and her cute little kids, and then after pickleball. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, this drove me nuts. When they're done with pickleball, Kyle goes, this is literally my favorite game these days. I'm like, you just said you don't even know the rules. She's fake even.
Well, she's like, I'm not an expert, but I'm like, okay, I'm like, okay, bye. So now we do what we're really here to do, which is talk shit. So Kyle's like, okay, let me preface this because like that was like your first encounter with all of us. But like I love Sutton. You know, I love drunk people. Like I really do. And I don't know why she's coming for my marriage in that way and like doing that to me. But like, are you going to ask me about my marriage? Because, you know, I'm dating a celebrity. So possibly. I mean, I don't know. I'm hinting at it. Can you tell? Have you heard about it? So.
Well, I mean, when we were having dinner and she didn't want to actually like say what it was, like she was really just like talking in circles around the issue. Like, what? And Kyle goes, yeah, I mean, like she wanted to throw it out there, but she like didn't want to go all the way with it. Like, and that's what Garcelle did too. So she's like trying to also throw Garcelle into this mess. And Garcelle was really not much of an entity. Garcelle was just kind of trying to move it along and try to get Sutton to spit it out, you know?
And Garcelle does do that, where she's like, "Well, here's what we're talking about then," and she just puts it all out there.
They don't. Yeah,
and
they don't like.
They all did that last year.
Yeah,
right. They did it last year with Erica. Like Garcelle was really good about being like, "Okay, the diamond necklace," you know, or "Okay, these articles about Tom Sutton and Garcelle." But Kyle was too. You know, they all were. And I think because the producers were like, "You guys have to ask Erica about this." It's like ratings gold, you know. But you know, just more hypocrisy. So yeah. Kyle's like, so last night, like, I mean, that was like really upsetting for Garcelle to throw, Sutton to throw those accusations at me. And like, even Garcelle saying things like, wow, I mean, her throwing things out there about my marriage, even though she's gone through this publicly, like, that's like, she knows how hurtful it is. And like, I'm really disappointed. Yeah, she brought up her own issues, Kyle, to like make you feel better about it because it's all over the news.
Yeah, Kyle trying to, you know what? I think Kyle's been waiting for a long time to go after Garcelle, but she felt like she couldn't because Garcelle really got her on the charity thing. And so Kyle's been on her best behavior. But now Kyle's like, okay, some time has passed. You know, I've got Anne on my side. I'm going to go after Garcelle now. So Anne is like, she's like, well, I want to know Sutton more. And Kyle's like, well, yeah, like too bad you didn't get to know her because she was too focused on trying to ruin my life.
So then we see Crystal showing up to a restaurant. And she's meeting Sutton, Garcelle, and Denise for lunch. And Garcelle's like, oh, I invited Denise, by the way.
And Garcelle's like, I mean, this Denise right here looks like she's just gliding through the wind. I mean, she's calm, she's composed, she looks beautiful. She almost looks like she'd even care to hear about stories about my children, and no one even cares about that.
And then they show a side-by-side of Denise's look today and Denise's look like with one of her lips curled up, like, don't do that.
And that was like this effortless, like, easygoing Denise today. Like melting the other night.
Also, why is everybody on this show surprised that Denise is wasted? Like, do they pay attention to anybody else besides themselves? Who's shocked that Denise is wasted? Did we watch her season? I mean, one of the best parts was when she was like shit-faced at that bar with Vanderpump and Kyle being like, oh yeah, I'll fuck my husband. Yeah, his dick is like a baby arm. Whatever she did. And then they went home in the limo and looked her up online.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what happened?
I think so.
Anyway.
Then this group of wacky ladies. Hello, ladies. Can I start you off with anything to drink? I'm gonna have a hot water with lemon. I'll have a hot water with lemon. I'll have a hot water with lemon. Can I get a hot water with lemon and mint? All right, ladies.
Yeah.
Enjoy your day. Although Crystal orders something, she goes, I'll have the skinny studio heat. Sometimes I get so mad at Los Angeles just for the things they put on their menus.
Skinny studio heat.
What is that?
Yeah.
Some play on Studio City? I don't know.
Garcelle's like, okay, so the other day, Sutton, I heard a commercial for neuropathy, and I'd never heard that word other than from you. So they're saying that people get it so severe that they amputate. What do you think of that? She's like, oh my God, what are you talking about my foot?
Like, why are you telling her?
Why are you telling her that right now? Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, I heard that people with neuropathy have a high chance of hating Magic Mike live. Is that you? Because that usually the next step is amputation. Is that you? Is that you, Sutton?
She's like, okay, listen, now I'm getting better with my nerves. Okay. My nerves are healing. Okay. Nothing's getting amputated. Okay. And Crystal's like, okay, well, how did that even come up yesterday? Your foot medication. She goes, because Kyle said, I don't know if it's 1 drink or 5 drinks and you're on your foot medication. And Denise is like, Kyle was judging drinking with you. Kyle, why? When was this? Where were you guys? Did you guys go out?
Sutton goes, splits and ponytail on the ceiling. And Garcelle's like, sweeping the dance floor with her coochie. They're so sick of Kyle. They hate her.
And Crystal's like, well, why do you think Kyle pointed at you and not Erica then? And she's like, I do. Look, I'm going to say we're friends, but throwing her sisters into that argument was not great. And Sutton's like, that was a low blow. I did it.
It was
sorry. Sorry.
It was like your ex doing coke under the table. A low blow. So
how else do you do blow? You got to get low. It's rules of blow.
So then we go back to Kyle, and she's telling Anne-Marie, and that was the nail in the coffin, what she said about the sister thing, because that was designed to hurt. And I was like, wow. You know, when I pointed out that she had a possible eating disorder and a drinking problem, that was not designed to hurt. But when she said the thing about Kathy, wow.
And she's like, yeah, you know, I don't really know, like, if something's going on with her personally or if she has an issue with me, but, like, I think she needs to stop focusing on my life and start focusing on hers, her own life. And she's like, Sutton, you know, and then Sutton says she has this thing wrong with her small esophagus or something. And then Anne-Marie goes, yeah, like, I'm in healthcare, so I'm wondering what that is. Like, what is that?
Yeah. Kyle's like, oh, can you live without eating? I mean, she said last night, you know, I have a small esophagus. So Emery's like asking questions about it. She's like, is it a sphincter issue? Which then causes Kyle to laugh because she's never heard the word sphincter without giggling, apparently. And we learn that Anne is a nurse anesthesiologist. And so like, she's always like literally shoving tubes down people's throats. So she's like very well aware of the esophagus. In my mind, I'm thinking the doctor, whatever Sutton's medical issue is, the doctor said it's basically like you have a small esophagus. And so now she tells people, I have a small esophagus. I'm sure it's not that she literally has a small esophagus. I'm sure there's something about the way the esophagus maneuvers and operates or whatever. So, but the fact that like, again, that Kyle is sort of like questioning whatever this medical disorder is just like really tacky.
Well, Anne-Marie is like, I mean, what is, like, I'm a nurse anesthesiologist, so like, I mean, I would have heard of it. I mean, like, what is she talking about? I mean, I've never heard of that. Esophageal strictures. An esophageal stricture is an abnormal tightening of the esophagus. They can limit or block food and liquid that's traveling from the throat to the stomach. Swallowing is difficult, and you feel food is stuck in your throat. GERD is the most common cause of strictures, but cancer and other issues can also cause them. A dilation procedure can widen the esophagus and reduce symptoms. Guys, guess who is not a nurse anesthesiologist and still was able to find that information in 5 seconds? So,
yes.
There you go.
And I think that Cameron Westcott has that. Cameron Westcott has posted stuff on her Instagram about having like an esophageal issue, like to that effect. So I hate that she is my example that I go to. I wish there was someone better.
Jeez, but, you're like, wow, you know what I'm going to come at this problematic person with? Another problematic person.
Dumb blondes have small esophaguses. Smart blondes have everything.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Garcelle's like, all right, everyone. Now that we all have our hot water with lemon, how does everyone feel about Kyle's dinner? So then she starts laughing.
Like, oh my God. Crystal's like, what the hell? Come on, bitch. What was she saying?
What? Bitch what? Bitch what? Bitch what? That dinner? Bitch what? That was hilarious. Bitch what?
And Garcelle's like, what would you have liked for Erica to say back to you, Denise? Because Denise is like, well, we had a dinner party and they were talking about threesomes with my kid at another table. And she's like, well, what would you have liked her to say? She's like, just to acknowledge it and to apologize and like say I feel bad about it. Like otherwise, she's just a mean ass bitch. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So now we go to Dorit's house and Dorit, Dorit, it's PK saying, Dorit, baby. He's like, can you make me a cup of tea, baby? Can you make me a cup of tea, baby? Maybe some hot water and lemon. I hear that's the rage these days, baby.
I'm already one step ahead of you, Piquet. I think I poured a little too much milk. Ooh! Ooh!
Dorit face. So she's like, I'll redo it if you want. And he's like, well, if you made your drink wrong, I wouldn't hear. If I made your drink wrong, I wouldn't hear the end of it, would I?
Honey, you've never made my drink right, ever. So they sit down to talk about the party and everything, and Dorit's saying, like, something's definitely going on with Kyle and Mo. She voiced it, but I haven't spoken to her about it really in detail, so I don't really know. And PK is like, well, I think that Mo is very, very, very busy at the moment. He's on the global domination track, as in dominating mistresses in every country, and he's traveling the whole time, and I get it.
I'm sorry, did I say domination? I meant dominatrix. Did I say that? Never mind. That's neither here nor there. All right, he's traveling a lot. That's what's going on.
Yeah, it's what puts the pressure on us, and that when I was away a lot, and if Kyle's going through something, just be a good friend to her.
Oh, absolutely, Piquet. Absolutely. And she's telling us, like, I'm not surprised that Kyle was reacting strongly about her marriage being attacked, because I've known Kyle a long time, and it's clear that something is not right at home, but that's for Kyle to tell. To connect Kyle, like Sutton and Kyle did, there's something that felt dirty about it. You mean after Kyle was like, what do you guys want? What do you guys want me to say? What do you want me to say? What are you guys saying about me? What are you guys saying about me? What are you guys saying about me? All right, fine. Where'd the band come from?
Kyle has no problem going after people that are not in her group about what's going on in their lives and marriages.
Right.
Okay, just look at Denise Richards.
Yeah, so Dorit's like, I want to talk to you about something. So now they're talking about homeschooling. And he's like, listen, you know my feelings about this. I brought up 3 kids before I met you. School and mixing with the kids, not being part of that whole environment, is enormously important for growth. And I am a father of 3 other children, so I would not. We've never even seen your other children. You be quiet over there. Now we're into this whole thing. I don't know. I'm not a parent, so I feel like it's not my right to say like what's important. I mean, I was traumatized by school, but I guess it would teach you to socialize. I don't know.
Babe, let me put it this way. How are kids going to get 4 different accents if they just stay at home? Okay? They need to be around other people, babe. Let's put them back in school, babe.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think homeschooling is great. A lot of people do it. I think I don't know what the standards are for that. Like if you test the kids, like how do you know that everybody's doing well? I will say this, general advice. I don't think you want Dorit to be your child's only influence. There. I think that in general.
I feel like for social influences, we need more than PK and Dorit, because then we see a flashback to class, and Mrs. Lepp says, okay, kids, covers tell you a lot about a book. And then Jagger goes, covers are probably the most important part of the book. Like, interesting lessons. I mean, the sort of lessons you expect on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, quite frankly, but maybe we should look into school.
That is such a Dorit lesson. The only thing that matters is the cover.
You can judge a book that way. So,
books are judged by their cover.
And basically, he's like, we need to put them in school. Our kids are getting a little weird. We got to put them in school. And she's like, but they don't want to go to school. He's like, that's nice, baby, but it's not really consideration, right, with the parents. So, no. But basically, what it really comes down to is the PTSD that she has, and she has a lot of fear inside, and she's very scared of being away from her children right now. And she probably already was like that a little bit, but now it's even worse. And he's basically saying,
right, here's the thing. I'm sorry. She has PTSD, and she doesn't want the kids to go to school because of the PTSD. and they have a homeschool in this specific room, but where the burglars broke in to the house was through that room. Like they literally crashed into that schoolroom and broke into their house when they, and I'm not laughing because that's funny. I'm just like, that's your PTSD is literally the classroom they're showing right now. Like all the pictures on TMZ from the helicopters and stuff are from above. And that is the sliding glass door that they broke into. So,
wow. Well, either way, he's kind of like, look, I'm not going to steer you down the wrong direction, but you're starting to say things like, Jagger, when you go away to college, I'm going to live on campus and you can't marry other people and everything. He's like, we need to create some separation here. Okay. We're sending the kids to school.
So then he's like, I mean, this is coming for your need for the kids to be close to you. Like, I get that, but you have to like at least own that element of the conversation because, you know, he did recently tell her like, I just don't really get this PTSD thing. I mean, what's that? That's ridiculous, really. Post-traumatic what? I mean, come on.
But I do have a treat for you. We do have a new teacher for our kids. Ladies and gentlemen, Berlin.
2 + 2 is 5.
Doing math in slow motion, finding the answer to equations.
There are different people in the world of different persuasions.
Judge every book by its cover, it's okay.
Dun, dun, dun. What's inside don't matter, only what you drive and hate. Science is for gay.
Learning a lot of lessons. Science is for gays. I was not expecting, here I thought they were in humanities talking about literature, but
listen, it's homeschool. You got to teach every subject.
You got to get
I like Berlin
Science
still
is
using
for
her 80s terminology. She's like, science is gay. Okay, I'm Berlin. I don't do science. I'm Berlin.
No, you said science
is Berlin
is
even
for
English.
gays.
Why am I giving her a PK accent?
Oh, PK said I had to adopt this accent if I want to get anywhere. It's the reason why we didn't get
My name is
Pantone.
Berlin.
Science is for gays. It's a great thing. By the way, what a great thing to be for gays.
I know, right? Yeah,
Like if anyone's offended,
Bunsen burners.
it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful
I love
thing for
it.
to be for us.
An hour and 48 minutes into this, now we're worried if somebody's offended. Too late, Ben. Too fucking late.
Speaking of which, we go to a laboratory, aka Rocco's and WeHo. Science is for gays. Erica meets up with Mikey at Rocco's, and she's like, "Wow, this place must get popping."
He's like, you tell me, Erica.
Not Papa's, Mikey. Jesus Christ, there's cameras here right now. Come on, Mikey.
The last time I was here was for a Christmas show, which made me think of all the Christmas shows we used to do together. Remember all those times? Yeah, remember a very slutty Christmas and a very skanky Christmas, and Mrs. Claus is a horny bitch Christmas. Oh, yeah, great times.
So yeah, they're talking about how,
Oh my God, you know what I miss? The art of performing. I'm a showman. I just need to be out here. God, I remember this dick sucking boy I used to be. It's time to turn the page and come back here and give him a real show, Mikey.
and so they're like, where can we possibly find a show? You know what we need to get you? A residency.
Where would we do that? God, I hope
you
there's
need a
someone who
house.
looks like Rush Limbaugh around here. Like a Sean with my wife.
No. When we say residency, we need to get you a proper home.
I'm right in one of those, and I sing in it plenty. You know, they love patting the puss in that thing. I'll tell you that.
I love when she starts talking about like how
I miss the connection you have with the audience, the exchange of energy.
and they cut to Kyle whipping her ponytail around at the club.
No, but honestly, there's nothing quite like singing the 2 of the 3 notes of your song and watching 2 gay guys snorting coke off of each other's dicks right beneath you. What an exchange of energy you got.
just listening to her talk about it is like, I think she just learns this stuff from like inside the actor's studio or whatever, which is like,
Oh, wow, what an exchange of energy that you have with the audience. It's a conversation you have with the audience.
and then whenever they show a clip of Erica performing, she's like,
Pat the puss, pat the puss, get your puss and pat it down. My pussy's on fire.
just drops the mic and like walks off the stage.
The only time I'm truly present in life is when I'm on stage.
And the producer's like, is that the only time is when you're on stage? Like, not like now when you're on a TV show where you're supposed to be present? She goes,
Yeah. Oh, and sex. But the good sex, not the Tom sex.
So Mike is like, oh my God, we're getting back to the Erica Jane project.
Yes, a pretty mess project.
So they're talking about how they're going to go find a residency in Vegas for her. And she's like,
I've always loved Vegas. When I was in the 5th grade, I was like, what is this? A magical place open 24 hours a day? Showgirls, costumes, money. And then I got there. Of course, it was called Shakey's back then, but still, Shakers. Sorry, Shakey's is a hamburger place, I think.
Turns
you know
out,
what I mean.
Here I thought I was in Vegas. Turns out I was just in a ball pit in a McDonald's in Great Neck, New York. But hey, felt great.
Listen, wouldn't be my first ball pit, won't be my last. Know what I'm saying?
You know what I like?
so then she gets very serious about this. She goes,
You know what I like most in life is the pursuit. I'm a hunter by nature, and I always have been. And why wouldn't I hunt the biggest game? I don't want to hunt warthogs. I want to hunt elephants, endangered elephants. And then I'd take the elephant and throw it at a rhinoceros and kill the rhinoceros too. And you know what? How about a bald eagle while we're at it? I want to kill them all.
But don't worry, I'm not an elephant hunter, so don't come at me about that miracle.
and then they toast to 2023 with their dirty martinis. And Erica goes,
Wow, they really gave us a lot of olives.
and then we see the olives. Their martini glasses are like covered in olives. It's just like a wall of olives.
So then we go to Dorit and Kyle meeting for a hike. And Dorit's like, we're working out. Do you have your wedding band on? I need to make sure. Otherwise, I'm going to start some rumors, Kyle. Ooh.
And then now Kyle's like super chill with it. He's like, oh my God, it's so stupid. Like, how crazy was the other night? Am I right? Like, it was so ridiculous, right? And she's like, insane. I mean, she was like saying she saw a ring she'd never seen before. Like, you know how many pieces of jewelry I have that she hasn't even seen? I'm like incredibly rich. I have so much jewelry that I could literally be robbed because of a terrible security system that Teddy's husband put in it and still more jewelry not to show. I mean, it is ridiculous. Like, it's not about the jewelry. It's on your you took off the wedding band to replace something and you put it on the wedding finger, Kyle.
Yeah, so Kyle's still going on about what a low blow it is. And then we hear Kim Richards coming out saying,
I hear the word low blow, Kyle. Hey, Kyle. Hey, Kyle. Hey, darling. What's going on?
I know a thing or two about low blow, okay? So Kim comes up. She actually, despite, us joking, she seems actually great. She's like very, very lucid. And Kyle's like, Kim and my relationship is in a very good place. And like, she knows I'm going through a hard time. And she's been like really supportive this last year. So
I love you. You're like, you guys, Kim seems great. And then cut to Kim going,
yeah, you know what? I haven't really left the house since lockdown. I'm just staying inside and painting on the walls.
That's literally an improvement. That is like, yes.
That is. And we do see it, and it does look like a fucking insane person's house. Like, it does look like somebody just sitting in there like, fox, I see a fox. Kyle, I see a fox.
Reminds me of that time Emilio Estevez.
It's really hard to mix all these voices and have Kim back. You can't have Kim back while Erica's still on this show and Denise Richard. It's like really a mind fuck for me, and I apologize to everybody, okay? But I'm not going to give it too much time because Kim's barely here, and she's probably not going to leave her house again till the next time. But we see all the pictures of her drawing all over her walls, and it does look insane, but it's also good. She's good. She's a good artist, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it is like, I mean, it's not like a mural that I personally would want, but like it is not like stick figures and stuff. It's like legitimately good. So she makes murals of animals and stuff. I mean, it really does look like in some ways like the key art for Labyrinth, speaking of which. And Kyle's like, I mean, for me to see her painting and out and socializing, that makes me happy because it means it's time for me to tear her down again.
Yes. And also, someone just made a comment about how Kyle doesn't have a relationship with her sister. So, of course, the very next scene, Kyle's trotting out her sister,
Right.
And she's always not talking to one of them, though. So she's got to trot this one out to make the other one feel bad, So,
so she's like,
they're
well,
so fucked up, this family. Oh, my
they
gosh.
are totally fucked up.
Well, I told Kathy, I said, tell Paris if she wants anything on the walls for Phoenix. I am down to do that. Both Phoenix the child and Phoenix Dorit's child, and just the city of Phoenix. I'll just paint on walls there. I love the desert.
You should see what I've done with the Phoenix airport. Pretty good stuff there.
So then Kyle's like, oh, so have you seen the baby yet, Phoenix? Have you seen the baby? Which is like her way of saying like, I haven't seen the baby. Someone just told me, Paris and Kathy have been in the news a lot recently, but I have actually not read any of the headlines. They keep popping up. I know that the Simple Life anniversary was recently, but
well, they have their show Paris in Love. It's on season 2 and it's on Netflix. So
got it.
That's why I think
so.
they're in the
But
news
is
all
it
the time.
true? So is what I heard that like Paris surprised the family with the baby? Like, guess what? I have a baby.
Yes. Yeah, I saw the clip
Phoenix?
of it the other day. So yeah, so basically it was on their show where Kathy's like, a baby, and Paris is like,
Yeah, like, I didn't want to, surprise you. I mean, I didn't want to, tell you because, it just, becomes a big thing. So, hope you understand your grandma.
and so Kyle's like, oh my God, I still can't believe I found it from Instagram that she had a baby. Like, that's how mean they are to me. I mean, that's like literally how everybody found out.
Yeah,
But
it sounds
don't
like
feel
that's
too
how
bad.
Kathy found out, pretty much, like one step removed.
Yeah. And
So
it's so
then-
Paris, Paris would just be like,
But that is how I communicate with you.
Yeah, that's actually like Paris communicating over Instagram is like the most personal that she could be. So Kyle,
What a
is-
baby. He's hot.
we see like a month earlier. This is actually, it was interesting because in the very first episode of the season, when Kyle sits down with Mauricio and is like, I got 5 tattoos. I'm waiting to tell you something. And then she never tells him anything. And we're like, why did she tell him anything? It actually looks like this is what she was telling him because they're wearing the same clothes. And Kyle tells Mauricio, like, I can't believe I found out from Instagram that she had a baby. And Mauricio just starts laughing. He's like, and then he starts to realize like, oh, wait, I shouldn't be laughing. So he goes, yeah, that's a little weird. Yeah, that's weird. I was laughing at something else totally, not at you.
So then we see a clip of Kyle talking to her daughters, being like, you guys should like go visit because like I don't want like you guys not to have a relationship because of us because like that's not great. Like you guys shouldn't get involved in our stuff.
Which is her way of saying like, if you go visit them without me, you're dead to me. By the way,
Right.
We all know. So of course
So
the
she
daughters
tells
like,
us-
no.
Yeah, they're like, no, Mom, we wouldn't do that. So Kyle's telling us that, Kathy and her nieces are a package deal. So if Kathy and Kyle are arguing, instead of it being just between us, all of a sudden it's like she's cut off from everybody. And that's the hardest part for her. Okay, but also they saw on TV how you were treating Kathy. So they also saw you literally trying to take her down on TV, Kyle. So and that's not to say Kathy's a perfect little saint either. I'm not saying that, but Kyle did really try to bring her ass down and then act like the victim.
Kyle was,
in my view,
Kyle was not being a good sister publicly. At least publicly. Kathy was probably being wretched privately, but Kyle was publicly being a bad sister. And I also like when when Kyle says that being cut off from everyone, aka Paris and Nikki and whatever babies are around their ankles, Kyle's like, that hurts me more than anything. It's like, okay, so being cut off from arguably the most popular or most famous members of your family is what hurts the most. Got it.
Yeah. So then Kim and Kyle are, Dorit's taking pictures of them while they hug. And she's like, oh my God, I love the relationship between you girls. And they're like, yeah, Kim's like,
Life is too short to fight. It's just not worth it, Kyle. Like, it bothers me, Kyle. It was like, Kyle, don't fight.
so they hug and she's like, you guys can fix this. And Kyle's like, oh my God, like, I don't even know how we got here. I have no idea. Well, your season is on Peacock. So I suggest you ask for some kind of code from NBC Uni and watch that.
yeah, follow Denise's advice and maybe watch the show. So she's like, I don't even know. Like, I was having a good time with her, and like, I only had good intentions wanting her to be in the group. I'm like, really? Because you didn't really defend your sister when Rinna came super hard for her, super hard the way that you are now complaining that Sutton's coming for you. And so Kim's like, listen, well, okay, I'll put it this way. Like, both of you could have done something a little different, mainly you. But in the moment, like, you didn't see that. And, so I don't think either one was wrong or not wrong. Maybe one of you was more wrong. Maybe it was you. I don't know. But we all could make different decisions. Specifically, you can make better decisions. And everything is a lesson, Just knows that, like, me and Kathy never fight. It's just me and you. So just putting that out there.
Ow, Kim. Sorry, I just wanted to draw on your face. It's hot and oil in my hand.
So Kyle's like, when I think about all the time we're losing with babies coming into the family and very famous members of our family not hanging out with other members of our family, like, we would normally be all together during these times, just laughing about, I don't know, hit movies like Halloween. And to be close with all these kids, like we were with our kids, like when our kids were growing up, it just makes me sad. It makes me sad that I can't take photos with Paris right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This is a long one, but guess what? It wasn't 5 hours, and it could have been. So you're welcome.
Could have been.
You're welcome for our brevity, because we can go on. But we are going to go recap Real Housewives of Miami now, which is next on our docket. And we hope that you guys join us for that, because you know what? We love you. And also, don't forget that Crappy Hour is Monday night for the final one of the season. I don't know what date that is. I was trying to do the math. I'm looking at the date on my computer right now and trying to do the math. And guess what? I can't do it.
It's Monday the 11th. December 11th, everyone.
Monday the 11th. Oh, it's 12/11.
So wait, 12 plus 11 is 23, and it's the year 2023. So it's 12/11/23. It's a very special day.
Yeah, it's a big, big day in the history of humanity. So everyone, thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you on the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Don't do that.
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 Don't.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary. It's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know Your Worth with Jason Kurth.
She's the wind beneath our Jennifer Wing.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying. It's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches. Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. We want to hang with Liz Lang. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She's quite the catch. It's Victoria Cotchett.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.